Hey folks, really down and dirty quick video for you today. A little bit of a public service announcement that got me thinking. If you've been collecting figures any longer than a few days, and especially if you collect modern figures in any way, shape, or form in particular, because of the increased articulation, you've heard of boil and pop and heating up the joints with hair dryers and hot water, things like that, to preserve the integrity of the joint. And what I have found tends to happen, especially with me, once I have a figure line for long enough and I see a certain consistency of the joint quality, things like that, I kind of get complacent. And there are things happening right now that can make that even worse. So, for example, I have a simple part swap customization I want to do with a Cronus figure. I already have one from the Origins of Evil 2-pack, but I bought an additional one because I want to display those figures as, side by side. Well, everything was working out great. The figure arrived, working well. Then I went to pose him, and his right leg broke off at the joint. You can see the broken plastic in there. This isn't a point where you could normally take the leg off. You basically can take them off at the hip joint here and at the boot cut here. So I have broken this piece. Now, it's a fairly clean break, and I could probably get away with a plastic weld fix, and I'll probably give it a try because this figure was very inexpensive relative to his initial cost because no one wants them. And I'll still get another one for the usage, but this will be a good, first try for me to fix something like this. So, you know, look on the bright side of things, silver lining, right? But here's what got me thinking about this. Origins figures, by and large, aren't too stiff out of the package. They're almost always posable, and sometimes they're a little loose, but I've never come across them being unable to pose. But it got me thinking about this one. One, it could be a defect, but here's the big piece. With all the record high temperatures in North America and Europe and everywhere else, when you have things that are shipping that are plastic, that are inside these box trucks, that just the heat is insane. Insane. I don't know how people work in those conditions, but they do, and you should thank them when you get the chance. But the plastic gets superheated, and then if it sits in a box inside of like the front office where you live, or if you have a post office box or something like that, or even if you just bring it inside and it sits in the box, or even, just sitting in its packaging and air conditioning for a while, that's going to mess with some plastic joints very easily. So the whole point of this video is to remind you to be vigilant about particularly your modern figures joints with regard to putting them in hot water or using a hairdryer, whatever your method. If it's new to you, go ahead and heat them up. It can be tedious. And if you're excited to do something, you might want to skip it. So first piece of advice, don't skip that stuff. Second, be extra vigilant with it, with the hot weather being what it is, and extreme changes in temperature and how they can affect your toys. Because I had to learn the hard way, but I'm really lucky that it was on a figure that's not hard to get. So it really makes me scared for anyone who's got something that they've been waiting for a while. You're going to pull them out of the package and something happens like this. So take the time, use the hot water, use the hair dryer, and keep those toys nice. That's all I got. We'll see you tonight for the premiere. Otherwise, if you're watching in the future, thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.